Jenny, and I've lived in Brighton for the past 10 years. So I'm part of Phoenix Art Space that's in the middle of town. So I'm working as part of our place in Brighton Festival, which is really lovely. So as part of this project, we're kind of reaching out to loads of groups across Hangleton and Knoll to make their own pictures, and you can do them jointly or you can do them individually. So there are no rules. It's for everybody. The whole theme of the festival for this year is care, to really think about the way we've kind of cared for ourselves, or we've cared for each other, and we've cared for our communities, but also how we've kind of really cared for our environment. This is just a little bit of detail about the project itself. So you'll get one of these in your packs, and it just kind of says just the main themes about care and about what will happen to the artwork. So people will make artwork, which will then come back to me, and I will photograph it, and then it will be designed and put onto banners across, we think, 5 spaces across Hangleton and Knoll. And this will be made in, then there'll be little maps made that you can access digitally, and they will be put up by the art trail. And there's also a little how-to sheet that will be in your pack that gives really, really simple instructions and 2 examples of pieces that I've made, just to help everybody along and give you some idea. A square of card, so we didn't worry about which way round anybody went. And there's also a selection of tissue, lots of different coloured tissue paper, and I think there's some bits of fabric in there as well. But actually this is an opportunity for you to look around and find some other things that you might have that you want to add to this. There are no rules about the materials that you use. It's all about kind of finding what you've got and maybe recycling some things. So I've been kind of looking at different magazine images. I found a really beautiful leaf today. You could use foil, paper. Please don't feel that, you know, you can only use what's in the pack. Just experiment. It's about playing, and it's about enjoying, and it's about just celebrating kind of the care that we've had. So one of the things that kind of is at the beginning is really kind of thinking about the things you've done to care for yourself or for others or for the environment. And I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, well, you know, I've done shopping for my neighbours. That's been a really important part, and people have shopped for me when I wasn't very well, so people have brought things round for me. You know, just going for a walk with a friend has been really, really important. I've been Zooming my family, and, you know, and then I've been kind of learning some new things. I've been cooking some new recipes. I've read some new books. I grew some flowers. I even managed to grow some vegetables, which was really big deal for me. So it's really, really simple, lovely things that you might have done. I've done a lot more recycling in our house. So we've done that we've kind of set up a different structure. And being outside has been massively important. So that kind of looking at the environment and really kind of appreciating where you live, and all these beautiful, because there's so many lovely green spaces in Hangleton and Knoll, and it's been a really lovely thing through the year, just watching how all the kind of the trees are coming into blossom, and then all the leaves are coming out, and just how gorgeous that is, and how joyful that is. So these really lovely simple things that just kind of bring us back to ourselves. And so one of the ways I thought, if sometimes that can be a bit tricky to think about, so you can write it down, or it's just really nice to sort of talk it through and ask each other those questions. Get loads of bits of resources, anything that you've got around, it doesn't matter, because it's all up to you. And so then you've got your board, and you'll need I've got glue sticks here. I think there's some gone out with the group, I think, haven't there? So there are some, or, you know, some around. And what I tend to do with this, because sometimes I get really nervous about starting things, and it makes me quite stressed out if I get a white piece of paper. It can be a bit frightening. So what I did was I just covered the whole thing in one colour to start off with. So I'm just gonna move this down, and it's just a case of getting your glue out and just really simply gluing. And when you're working with tissue paper, it's much easier not to try and glue the tissue paper, because then it rips, but to glue the board or whatever else you're using, because otherwise, if you're like me, you end up with a big ripped up mess of tissue paper. And then you can just cover the whole of your board really easily. So it just makes it a bit simpler. And then to kind of get the edges a bit tidier, because tissue paper can be a bit of a mess, I just kind of trim them down. Oops. And you've all got kind of a selection of different coloured tissue paper. But if there's something else you want to cover your board with, or if you want to paint it, absolutely go for it. It doesn't have to be a picture of a place or anything like that. It can just be amazing shapes and colours, if that's what you like, if that's what works for you. So there are absolutely no rules about it. So that's quite a nice place to start from. And I was thinking about what I do this morning, and one of the things that's been really important for me is kind of walking. So I wanted to add a leaf to it. So this is one that I found. It's one of my pot plants. So I'm kind of collecting that. And then the other thing that I was thinking about, I've got some really lovely fabric here. So this is just some fabric that my mum gave me, but you might well have old clothes or bits of things that you've made, or wool, or anything like that that you've got around that you can use. And then just, you can cut out bits of that to add to it, and just really experiment is the bit that I've really enjoyed about making these, is just kind of having a look at what I could do. And I'm just going to cut out one of the little kind of plant bits on this fabric, so you can kind of use it to use the details on the fabric, or just use it to cut out shapes. So I've got just a little bit there that you can see if I put it on my hand. So it's just a little plant. So I'm going to put this on here, and it's just kind of starting to build up all these different elements that you might want to add in things. So I think I might just try some different layers on what might happen, because I think I need the background a bit different. So you can just start building up, and then I think I might have a bit of pink. Where are we? There we go. And just having a real play with it. And this is a time where, if you're working with lots of kids, they can really go to town, and they can really just enjoy it, because it's about the experimenting, and it's about kind of the care that we show ourselves when we make things as well, when we take time to be creative and spend that kind of real joy kind of learning and making, and just kind of problem solving with different things. And so once I've got these on and I'm kind of happy with it, I'm gonna glue them down. I'm not quite sure how this leaf is going to glue down. I think I might need some PVA to get that to stick, and it needs trimming here. So the thing is about sticking bigger things on, I'm going to glue the back of this. It says nature walking down here, but you can draw on top, you can add paint, anything that you've got at home really. I'm going to go around the edges of my leaf with another pen, just to kind of emphasize that shape, which is a really nice thing to do. So you could just keep working on top of it. I need the pictures to come back to me, so it would be great if you could put them in the envelopes that you've got to come back to me in, because that will just really protect them on the way back, especially if you've got big things like this that are stuck on, and they might fall off if they all come back in a pile. When the artwork's made, they need to come back to me, and we can either do that through them being dropped off at St Richard's, or if you've got they can all go to your group coordinator, and then I can collect them from them. So I need to collect them on the 30th of April, so they all need to be ready there then. And if you kind of played with lots of them and made a few, that's great. It's really lovely if you want to try them out and make a few, but if you can just choose one, your favorite one that you really like, and send that to us. And if you put your name on it and which group you're in, then I'll do my best to get the artwork back to you. I need the pictures to come back to me, so it will be great if you could put them in the envelopes that you've got to come back to me in, because that will just really protect them on the way back, especially if you've got big things like this that are stuck on, and they might fall off if they all come back in a pile. And then there'll be a little map that's going to be drawn up with the locations, and there are other parts of the Our Place Festival that's going to be going on in Hangleton and Knoll, so there'll be details of that on the map as well, and that will go onto the website so that everybody can share it with their friends and family. You can go and have a little walk and have a look and take in everybody's artwork.